Hello, and welcome back to the June gas leak. This is bonus puzzle number 4. It's called Recurrence by Philip Newman. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Quadruples, digits in corner circles, must appear in the surrounding 4 cells in some order. So what does that mean? Well, it's the fourth puzzle with with quadruples in it. Very thematic. Recurrence, I don't know if maybe it's just because of the name of the puzzle or it's because I actually recognize it, but I feel like I recognize this kind of shape with the quadruples. Probably Philip did something similar to this, or someone did something similar to this. I assume it would have been Philip. But in any case, how do these actually even work? Well, you can see here we have the digits 1, 1, 2, and 3. That means that we need to see the digits 1, 1, 2, and 3 in these 4 cells here. Something like this, where it's 1, 6, 7, 3 out of these 4 cells will contain the digits 1, 6, and 7. You theoretically could have another 6 or another 7 or another 1, but we know for a fact at least one of the cells is a 1, one of the cells is a 6, another one is a 7, and the last one can be whatever, as long as it satisfies Sudoku and the other quadruples that may or may not overlap with it. So, with that, those are the rules. Let's just jump right into it. All right, so immediately I'm starting to think about how these share, right? If especially when you have double digits. When you have double digits, they must be diagonal to each other because obviously if they were within the same region, that would just be broken by Sudoku in that way, and if they were in the same row, that would be broken in that way. So we know that the one has to be either like this or like this. If one was like this, let's just say this 178 quadruple could never be satisfied because you could never have at least one 1 in these 4 cells. As a result, we know that it must be 1 1 like this. The 2246 is kind of telling me that this has to be 3 and this has to be 2 because we know it'll either be 2 2 like this or 2 2 like that. Oh, well, this is interesting. No, maybe not. Maybe not so interesting. Um, hmm. I was thinking about the ways that like the sevens work together. So here we know 7 has to go in one of these 3 cells, and 7 has to go in one of these 4 cells, which means that 7 has to go in one of these cells. But we could do better and say it has to go in one of these 2 cells. But that's not doesn't really lead much of anywhere, at least right now. But those are the types of things that you could consider, right? Like seeing like the 6 here, and 6 here. Which means certainly 6 is going to be shared between these 2 cells. But in any case, this will be 6 here. That means that 6 has to go in one of these cells here. Again, 1, 2, 3, 5 restricts 6, so it has to go in one of these 2 cells. I guess that does mean this would be 2, 6 and this would be 2, 4. And knowing that, right? Where does 2 go? All right, let's trace 2's. I don't know why that's what's sticking out to me, but it is. We're going to trace 2's, and we know that 2 has to appear in one of these cells, right? We know for a fact it has to appear in one of these cells. Um, 2 also has to appear in one of these 2 cells. And that starts to restrict a lot of stuff because 2 can then, if it has to appear in one of these 4 cells, can't appear in these 2 cells. And it somehow needs to appear in one of these 2 cells as well as one of these 4 cells here. And the only way for that to happen simultaneously is if 2 is there. Um, one One has to go in one of these two cells because one can't go here, which means one would have to go in one of these two cells. It's a lot of chasing digits around. There has to be a clearer path, right? There probably isn't. I'm just confusing myself with all of this somehow. 2, 6, 2, 4. Doesn't help. 1, 3, 5. One's already restricted pretty tremendously here anyways, thanks to the ones. So it doesn't really do that much more for us. I guess it tells us one has to be in one of these three cells. Hmm. 3, 3, 3, 3. Oh, I guess, sorry. That's what I was missing. That means this has to be 1, 3, and this then has to be 5. And then, right, 9 here, 9 here. Again, doesn't actually do that much restricting. Oh, it always has to be 2, 4 because 4 will always go in one of these two cells. There we go. And that gives us 2, 6. 6, 1, 7. Hmm. 6 going one of these cells means 6 definitely has to be shared somewhere here, which means this is going to be 3, 9. This will be 3, 6. Oh, and that kind of does something here because, well, not kind of, it does. 3 will then have to go in one of these two cells. And if 3 goes in one of these two cells, where does 3 go in this quadruple? It has to go there because it can't go there by the row, and I guess it also can't go there by the box. That's why it feels like I'm chasing things. Oh, and of course, again, 3 will go in one of these two cells, either here with that or here like that, which means this is 3, this is 1. And this 3 staring here between these two cells forces the 3 there. Then 3 pointing across. There's 3 in one of these cells, which isn't that restricted. Could this be 8 here? Why not? 7, 4, 4, 8. Looks good to me. 4 will go in one of these two cells. Staring across and right now not doing much of anything. Ah, 4. 4 gives us 4 here. This is 1, 7. See, if you were doing this like a normal person, then you would just pencil mark 1, 4, 5, 9 here. You would just pencil mark, I guess in this case, 2, 5, 8 because we've already placed our 3, right? And then some of these patterns would start to come up a little bit more readily. And we know this has to be 1 because if 1 went here, just like how we were explaining it up here with the double 1, if 1 went here, there would be no way to satisfy this 1, 5, 6. So it has to be 1, 7 in that order specifically. Six definitely has to go here. Doesn't really do much to restrict. I guess actually this can't be 6 because it's 2, 3, 5, 8. 4. 4 goes there because we know 4 has to go between these cells like this, which means 4 goes in one of these two cells, which places 4 there because of this 4 and this 4. Problem is between 5, 7, 8, and 9, I think this could honestly be any of them because you could have the 7 here with the 1. And that would place 7. I guess it would have to specifically be here if it was 7 between these two cells. Hmm. 5. 5 here, 5 here says this has to be 5. And this has to be 5. So how does that work? If this was 5, right? Let's just say if this was 5, that would mean one of these two cells have to be 5 and one of these two cells have to be 5, which would not work. So between these two cells, this in fact has to be 5, which means 5 goes somewhere here. Mm, it's kind of a weird one, but 7 couldn't go there because if 7 went there, it would restrict all of these possibilities for 7. But 2 isn't restricted in any way, at least, well, not in a way that I immediately see. It's possible mixing with this 2, 7 and this, like, I don't know. Maybe there's something there, but I'm not going to rack my brain hoping to explain something I don't see. 7, not so easy. As usual, I'm sure someone will let me know if they've spotted a much cleaner path through this. It's definitely not jumping out at me. I guess 5. 5 goes between one of these two cells. Can we do better though? Not really. 6 between these three cells. We'll just place 6 between these two cells. 3, 9. Know that this has to be 9. Oh, and that this has to be 9. Because we know this has to be 3, 6, but once again, I see some sets. 2. Hello. Second we got the 5, 2, 8. I'm seeing some sets. I'm just not seeing all of them. That means 8 goes here or here. If this was 8, double 4, 8 is not possible. 8 has to go somehow between these two cells and these two cells. If this was 8, there would be nowhere to place 8. So that means 8 in fact does go there. This is 4. This is 7. Now, of course, it seems so obvious. 2 here, 7 here. 6. Hmm. This has to be 7 because we know 7 will go in one of these two cells. So that, I guess, even without that, 1, 4, 5, 9 just places that. Oh, and the 4 that we've placed, the 4 that we placed places 4 there. And what do we say? 9 here, so this has to be 9. This is 1, 5. If this is 9, actually, we know that 9 has to go there. 1, 5, not resolvable, but it does let us resolve 2, 7. The 5 then, that we know goes there, must in fact force a 5 here. And that gives us 6 here. I said 6 here. 7 gives us 7. 2 gives us, see, I'm just, it's there, folks. It's there, and I'm just not seeing it. It is there. 2, 2, 7, 9. 1, 5 leaves us with 3, 8. 3 does give us 3 here. The 8 doesn't help us. 5, 6, 9. Where does 7 go? 7 has to go there. This has to be 1. Then 5, 7, 9. We're missing 3, 6 here, which means 1 and 2 go there. 1 nets us. 1, 6, and 2, actually. 2, 1, 6 gives us 1, 5. We know this is 3, 8. We know this is 5, 9, and something. 5, 6, and 9. Can't resolve it yet. With the 3, 8, maybe? No. 3, 8, 9. Oh, well, we know this is 3, 9. So what does this have to be? This has to be 8. And this is 9. And this is 3. And this is 8. 8 could go here or here. 6 between these two cells does give us 6 here. 8 now is resolved. There. 8, 8, 8. And that tells us, oh wait, not 8 there, sorry, 8 there. This is 9. This is, hello, 6. So we got that 6, 9 pair. 4, 9. 3, 6, 3, 9. Well, 3, 9, and 4 certainly places 4 there. Gives us 4, gives us 9. 3, 6, 3, 9 leaves us with 1, 7, and 6 there, and 6 gives us 6, gives us 3, gives us 3, gives us 9. Then 3, 4, 5 gives us 4, 3, and 5 that way. 4 nets us 7 there. And the 5 and 9 is resolved like that. 5, 9. This is 9. This is 9. Across we still need 5 and 6. 5, 7, 8 is 5, 8, 7. And finally, to finish this off, we have a 6 in the corner in 18 minutes and 52 seconds with recurrence by Philip Newman. So with that, hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you for bonus puzzle number 5, the final bonus puzzle. And as always, thank you for watching.